Greetings from home, dear ones. I am the keeper of time. I join you with this day with such joy, for you have accomplished so much in such a short time. We see the many challenges that you go through, but in many aspects you're way ahead of the game. Understand that these changes take time and you have integrated them extremely well. The portal has changed Earth's entire energetic network, which opens up so many possibilities. You see, dear ones, it's much like your own energy field. You are very sensitive and pick up other people's energies all the time. So does the Earth, only on a much grander scale. There's a magnetosphere around Earth, a magnetic field, and other fields like the ionosphere also interact with it. These different elements protect the Earth from the stray radiations that naturally travel through space. This is very helpful for the planet, whichever planet it is. So, what happens when the portal opens? The portal keeps all of the protection in place. It also opens up the energy so that beings can see the planet and move through it in a different way. As a result, you now have many beings working with planet Earth to try and shift some of the energy. By working with these new attributes and bringing new elements on board, Earth herself can take an evolutionary step that will help enable her to house the many people who are on the planet. At the same time, you're doing things to raise your vibration and elevate yourselves in different ways, which causes less weight on the planet. That shift also changes the 80-20 equation. If you are 80% humanity and 20% spirit, when you increase the spirit, it weighs less on the planet. We thank you for your work during the time that this portal was opening. Because of your work, blindly going forward without knowing what would happen, you held the portal open. It was because of your hopes and dreams that it happened. So, now let us tell you a little more about what is possible with the portal being open permanently. We say permanently, because it will not be closing in the normal increments that it would have ordinarily. However, it's always possible for this portal to close. The Earth may need to take another shift to protect herself, in which case the portal would naturally close. Earth will do that on her own if it happens, but in the meantime there's a lot of help coming in from different directions. You're making connections on multidimensional levels. We've given you the illustration that you are 11 dimensions, actually 12 including your higher self. You're a multiple of 12, representing universal principles. Every time you make a large decision, another one of your aspects makes the opposite decision. You experience all of it in different ways. Because of the clear separation you've had with your different dimensions, you've been able to balance a lot of things. And we tell you, there's a tremendous amount of balancing occurring in the 11 dimensions. You believe one thing over here, yet you believe something entirely different on the other side of the dimensional wheel. Creator beings run amok. And not only that, but you believe that this person's wrong, even though they're actually both you. The interesting part about all of this, of course, is that you are creator beings. You create whatever you can balance between your head and your heart. And if you manifest something over here thinking that this is the absolute truth and you believe it, then you'll manifest it successfully. Often we simply hold things up and say, here is a vision you can create. And then you do, you're magicians. You do all sorts of things on a moment's notice, to be able to manifest things out of nothing. And sometimes others spend huge amounts of energy to get you to use your creative powers for their purpose. Still, why is it easier to do these things for others than it is to do them for oneself? That's your spirit seeing through your bodysuit. Your spirit has no ego, so it does not know itself. Instead, it needs the experience of the physical to complete its mission. Because of this portal being open, you now have capabilities of more multidimensional contact than you have ever had before. We've given you suggestions, such as timeline healing, where you can actually do healing in the timeline. You can erase, correct or shift things. Cognitive life path programming does exactly that. It takes many of these elements in the timeline and changes them, because you are creator beings. The moment you take a hold of something and shift it ever so slightly, it is yours and you own it. You can manipulate, control and duplicate it. You can work with it in so many different areas, even negative experiences. Well, you've also purposely put negative experiences on your plate. As a spirit, you do that all the time from the other side of the veil. The storyteller. If you're a storyteller, a fiction author writing short stories or books, you have to have some negatives. It's simple. Your hero will have to bump up against some big problem in order to rise above it, otherwise you wouldn't have a story to tell. That's just how it works. You have an opportunity for mastery, because you're creating every step on your path just before your foot hits the ground. You don't see it, dear ones. You think you're leaving footprints in the sand, but those footprints are created just before you landed. You've created the veil, which keeps you from seeing much of it. With this portal open, you'll have more capabilities to work with your other timelines and dimensions of time-space. Sometimes you have increments of time that cross each other. Meet the other yous. From time to time, you also have some of these timeline crosses on an individual basis. What does it look like to be in touch with your other dimensions? Well, the funny part about it is that sometimes you do what you call past life readings. They tell you all about who you once were and evolved to be. Sometimes it's not actually who you were in the past life, but instead who you are in this life in another dimension. Because you see, dear ones, you're a perfect being. But as we know, perfection is not allowed on planet Earth. So, what do? You hide your perfection in all of your 12 different dimensions. And that also means change, and humans don't like to change. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Once you accept and move into it, you start connecting with some of these other dimensions of time-space. Sometimes they'll come through as an idea, phrase, or even music, as you start receiving signals from the other yous in the universe, and that is very magical. Those of you who've done channeling and spirit communication, this experience feels like that, except it is much more powerful. You don't have any doubts because it's coming from you. It's your essence that is both speaking and receiving. So, now is the perfect time to improve yourself in any way that you can. You'll find that things move faster than before as you step on the path to evolution. Slow down. You will also experience more difficulties in a shorter time, because you're moving quickly. It's as if you're saying, come on, bring it on. I'll take it on, and I'll take it all at once. And it all begins with learning to trust the inner you, your higher self. That connection is critical for everything you do, because it's how you express yourself as an individual, but also how you connect with home. All spiritual connection comes through that higher self, your true being. The more you can raise the vibration of your higher self, the less you weigh upon the earth and the easier it is for you to step to that next level. Be careful where you point that thing. And when you reach back to put out your hand, you also bring up the people who were behind you. You are creator beings extraordinaire, so if you truly believe the contrarian is true, then you manifest that. We simply ask you to be aware of what you are creating, choose your manifestations carefully. Opening this portal also opens up the flow of thought multidimensionally, as well as within multiplanetary systems. It's your responsibility to ground those thoughts in some way, so start by writing them down. Well, what if you never do anything with that thought? It doesn't make any difference. Just write it down, bring it in and ground it in your world in some way, use or speak it. Even if you slightly disagree with the thought, grounding the energy allows you the opportunity to fully examine it. As a result of this portal opening, you're going to find that you move very quickly now and even faster in technology. How much of what has taken place has required you to hold your heart high? That's why we kept asking you how much love you can hold, because it's been the key to keeping the portal open. Fall in love with planet Earth, with your experience here, and especially with the experiences you have with other people on the planet. It's an opportunity for you to remember home in the most beautiful ways. You are the magicians of the game board, and you have traveled a very long way to be here at this exact moment. We're so honored that you are with us. Now that this portal is open, there's so much that you can improve within yourself to then carry out into the world, through your ideas, thoughts and deeds. Know that you're never alone, we're with you all the time. It is with the greatest of honor that we ask you to treat each other with respect. Share your magic with each other at every opportunity in creating miracles, not only for yourself but for everyone. It's a new game that you're playing, so play well together. I watch as the illusion of time creates your game. Well done, dear ones, you are loved. 𝐕𝐄', I am the keeper of time. Channel, Steve Roeder.